The tiller's not exactly where it needs to be, but I have a crazy amount of limb twist that showed up when I put this shorter string on it, and I don't know what to do about that. I've tried cutting the string knocks in deeper. They look pretty close to being the same, and I don't want to cut them in anymore because these are just temporary knocks. They look even. I tried taking wood off the sides. I thought that when you look at the bend, it points towards the weak side. So I was taking some wood over here to try to bring the string back, but that didn't act like it was doing anything either. So I thought maybe somewhere mid-limb on the belly there's a high spot. So I figured looking at the bow this way, you would take wood opposite of the high side. So the high side, when you look at it this direction, is the side that's bending more. So you should take wood over here. And I did that. I took a lot of scrapes just using the tip of my knife to only focus on this one side. And I've got a ridge here off center, so I know I'm only taking wood off that side, but that's not really doing anything either. Maybe it's a grain issue, or maybe the board was a little warped and I just didn't notice until I was trying to make it bend. Besides that, this is going to take some string follow anyway. And it's not such a bad thing. It actually can make a softer shooting bow, but it kind of robs you of performance. So I was thinking about steaming them. And then hopefully that fixes some of this limb twist issue. Those curves settled down quite a bit overnight, which is good. That's looks a lot more like what I wanted. Little bit of deflex and then a little bit of reflex. I like it. I forgot to take any video, but I put a little 1/4 inch chunk of walnut on here for a handle overlay. got a hinge. It looks like there's a little bit of a flat spot here. It's hard to tell. The nice thing is once I put this video up, people will see my tillering flaws, and at least I'll have some education for next time around, but I think I'm going to call that good enough. I'm going to test the draw weight. It's probably like 40 pounds, which is going to be under where I wanted, but had to do so much scraping. So it's 37 pounds at 26, and that's not what I want. I had to take too much wood because of that hinge that I got. Okay, so it's not a failure. I have a bow. I have a 37-pound bow. It would shoot just fine like this if that's what I wanted, but it's not. And there's nothing wrong with it. It would shoot just fine. I could cut a sight window into it and have a lightweight, fun little bow that I built from a board from the hardware store. I'm not happy with the propeller twist that's in it. I just don't like looking at it aesthetically, and I know it'll shoot fine. But I had bigger plans for this one, and I wanted it to be a little nicer. So I'm going to go ahead and lop an inch off at each end just kind of to see what happens. But I'm probably going to end up making a fiberglass bow for this one's intended purpose. Anyway, let's get to chopping. No going back now. So, I had a bow before I tried to steam in the reflex, but it was taking a lot of set, and I had a bow again, but it was under draw weight significantly for what I wanted. Was gonna try to make it into like a little static recurve by gluing on some Cias, I guess, short ones. It might have worked, but I couldn't really figure out the angles and stuff like that. So I just slapped some limb tips on it. It's gonna be 54, 55 inches tip to tip. I don't know if it's going to hold together or not. If it does, I still have that propeller twist in it and I don't like it. I'm going to string it up and see what happens. It has so much twist. And it doesn't even, like that's brace height. And it doesn't look that bad. I cannot believe this thing is held together. It has so much limb twist. Like, even though it's holding together right now, this thing is going to have a lot of hand shock. It's going to be slow. It's not a fail. I've had a bow out of this board 3 different times in this process. It's just not what I'm looking for. And I can't believe it could be so bad and still make a bow. And it's probably about 40 pounds. Let's check. $43 pounds. Look how bad this limb is twisted. Crazy. Let's just shoot a couple arrows out of it.